So it's showing that we are live here, but let me check. Okay. I can see you from here, but let me check just to be sure it's on public.
Okay.
Okay. I can see you from here, but let me just. Okay, let me send you the link just to be sure, like you can see me from your own end. Can we check your WhatsApp? I sent you a link.
Okay. Okay, so I have just one phone. Let me just share with my husband. You can see.
Okay.
I'm not yet a big madam like you.
I beg you.
Yeah, okay. Temi. Sorry, I want to mute myself.
Okay, I think we're good from my end. All right, I think we can start. I can hear you. Okay, yours it's on now. So we're good, right?
Yes, we're good.
We can start, yeah?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Trying to upload it on my WhatsApp and to my community. Okay, hi everyone. My name is Joan Obi Okuhon. I'm a realtor and founder for J Global Properties. And on this call, we're going to be talking about mortgage in Nigeria. Of course, you know, mortgage is one of the ways you can finance your real estate housing. And there's been a lot of myths about the mortgage platform in the Nigerian real estate market. And that is why I have brought somebody who is actually a player in the mortgage industry. She works with Imperial Mortgage Home, which is actually one of the biggest mortgage bank we have in Nigeria. She's a quantity surveyor. In fact, let me leave her to introduce herself. All right, Kemi, over to you.
Okay, thank you, John, for having me here. My name is Kemi Harowulu. I'm a consultant
Okay.
by John, yeah, and I work with one of the leading mortgage bank in Nigeria. We are licensed by CBN and we are insured by NDIC. Yeah, so
Okay.
based on record, Imperial Homes and Finance over 3,000
Can you
mortgages.
speak up a bit? I don't think I can hear you very well.
Yeah, so I said we are licensed by CBN to finance mortgage
Okay.
area, and we are insured by NDIC. So,
NDIC. Okay. Amazing. So, first of all, what is mortgage? For somebody who does not understand what a mortgage is, they don't understand the real estate terms. What is mortgage?
okay, mortgage is just a financing option that
Okay.
helps pay a portion of a property price. Yes, which you hereby spread across years. You can spread up to 10 years and 20 years while you are living in the property. So mortgage is just a financing option basically for residential property. So that's it.
Okay. Okay. So, in simple terms, um when you are paying for mortgage, you can be living inside the house while you are financing the property,
Yes,
and it
exactly.
goes up to 20 years,
It's up to 20 years, up to 30 years, depending on
up to
the
30 years.
option.
Okay, so okay, so what are the different mortgages we have in Nigeria?
Okay. Okay, yeah. So we have different mortgage option. Back in 2 years, 3 years, we have just two options, but now there are more options that have been made available, which will also encourage a lot of people to buy property through mortgage. Yeah. So firstly, we have the residential mortgage. The residential mortgage is that one is capped on the MPR, that's the monetary policy rate. Yes, so that is the usual mortgage we normally have, which is on the high side, which is at currently is 26.5% per annum.
26.5%.
6.5%. That's the
Okay.
interest. And the advantage of that is that you can get up to 150 million for your property
You can
price.
so you can get up to 150 million to finance your house.
Your house. Yes, you can get up to that. And the tenor is also up to 20 years. You can get
Okay.
a facility up to 20 years. Yes, so that is basically that for residential mortgage. And for
Okay.
have NHF is also has also been for a long time. Yeah, the
Okay.
eligibility is that you have to be contributing. You have to be a contributor to NHF, and to access that, at least you should have contributed up to 6 months towards it.
Okay.
The maximum amount you can access for that is 50 million. The maximum
50 million.
50 million, and the interest rate is 6% per annum. So that is still the
Kemi, is it
most.
possible? I don't know. Can you come closer to your device? I can I'm struggling to hear you, and I don't know if other people are experiencing the same too.
Okay. Okay, so should I take it again?
Yes.
Okay, from the residential mortgage or
Yeah,
this.
yeah, if possible. Yeah, if possible.
Okay, so for the residential mortgage, just as I said, it's capped on the monetary rate, which is published by the CBN. Yes, and the interest rate for that is 26.5% per annum. That is the
Okay.
current. Yeah, so it can go up, it can come down based on it's CBN that determines that. Yes, and
Okay.
the maximum amount you can get up to 150 million for that. You can get up to one
150 million.
facility. Yes, and
Okay.
the tenor you can get up to 20 years.
20
Mortgage
years.
you can get up to 20 years. That is for
Okay.
the mortgage, and that's the one we've been doing for a long time. Yes, we also have NHF, National Housing Fund. Yes, so the eligibility for that is that you have to be contributing, you have to be a monthly contributor to that, and the required percentage is 2.5% of your monthly earning is what you should be contributing. And for you to access that, you must have contributed up to 6 months. Up to six
Okay.
months. Not being a contributor and you're looking to that, you can sign up and contribute up to 6 months, then access this facility. The maximum amount for that is 50 million. 50
50
million
million.
the maximum amount you can access for NHF.
So
And
how do
the
you for the NHF, how do you is it like an association?
Yes, so it's just under federal mortgage, FMBN. Yes, so it's a national housing fund. Yes, so for you to
Okay.
be, if you're a salary earner in a corporate organization, they debit you that amount, yeah, every month. But if you are a let's say self-employed, you can get onboarded on it and just make that 2.5% contribution. For a minimum of 6 months, you can access this facility.
Oh, okay. Okay. So what are the other type of mortgage? I know you have mentioned two.
Yeah, so the also I let me add that the tenure for that, the mortgage, it still has the highest tenure for NHF. You can access up to 30 years. So let's say you are 30 years old currently, you can access NHF and spread your payment
Yeah.
up to 10. So that still has the highest number of tenure. Yes, so and the third one is the family homes fund. Family homes fund is an on-lending mortgage.
Okay.
So yes, so for that, the tenure is up to 15 years. The tenure is up to 15 years, and this, you were going to say something, or should I
Yeah, which
continue?
one is for 15 years?
For 15 years, this family homes fund is also a mortgage finance,
Family home fund. Okay.
also a mortgage financing option. The equity contribution for this is a minimum of 10%. Minimum
How much can
contribution,
you access?
and this is just capped on property price. The property must not be more than 100 million. Yes,
Okay.
like buying a property of 100 million, you are just to bring 10 million. Then on this platform, you can access 90 million.
This one you're talking about, is it the same thing as MRIF?
No, this is another. So that's why I'm telling you that we have a lot of options now that you can. So it's not only MRIF that is available. So the interest rate for this per annum is 16% currently. 16% per annum is what we are offering on FHF. So can I
Okay.
move on?
Yeah.
Okay. MREF is the most known mortgage option now, and because of the interest rate is around 9.75% here, and the tenure is up to 15 years also. 15 years. The maximum amount varies actually, because this fund we're talking about is not a lot, you get. So looking at making it available for everyone. Yes, so for us at Imperial, we are capped at 70 million. 70 million
70 million.
what we finance on MREF. Yes,
What's the
so
equity contribution?
the equity contribution is a minimum of 20%. 20%,
20%.
yes, 20% across board. But if you are working in the if you are working in educational sector, or you're a civil servant, medical, so there's a kind of concession where you can contribute 10%. Yes, so that is
Oh,
that for
okay. So contribution is between 10 to 20%.
20% basically. Yeah.
Okay.
So those are the four options that we have that Nigerians can um, leverage on.
Okay. Okay, so I think for the purpose of this session, let's just focus on MRIF because I know that is what most people are conversant with, especially because of the percentage. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
So how can one assess mortgage? Must you be a salary earner? Because I know that most times you must have like a consistent source of income.
yeah.
So how can one assess mortgage? Just step by step. If you can tell us for like salary owners, business owners, just basically what you guys offer at Empire Homes.
Okay, yeah. So let me just run you through the process. So the first is to access through a primary mortgage bank. which Imperial Homes is one of the leading mortgage bank in that sector. So you can access the bank. And how do you go about it? You create an account with us, a current account with us, yeah, to begin with. And the second is that you have to be a citizen of Nigeria. This fund are available for Nigerian citizens, so you can't be a Canadian. You can be a Nigerian and a Canadian kind of, but if you are not a citizen of Nigeria, you can't access it. So you must have your NIN. Your NIN validates that, and your proof of income. So if you're a salary earner, most often we request for your payslip, your offer letter at your place of work, your statement of account. We want to see that, okay, this is this is what you've been offered, and this is what you've been receiving in your account. So we'll check through your statement of account. Yes, that is for salary earner. But for business owners, we always request for audited accounts. We want to see inflows and all that. Yes, so we request for your management account and audited account. If we review and we see that you are capable, yes, so we finance that. Also, we request for a satisfactory credit report. A credit search will be done on you as an applicant. So we want to see if you do not have obligation somewhere, like, okay. So that's what we do at the mortgage advisory level. We see that, okay, you don't have too many loans you are paying. Yes, so if this is fine, then we can process for. So the next step is for you to provide, once you open the account, you're in Nigerian, we have accessed your payment, your statement of account, your proof of payment, your capacity level. So you'll be required to pay the down payment, which is your equity contribution of 10 to 30%. Yes, so yeah, you'll be requested to provide this, and um, then we can conclude on the tenor you want to access. So the tenor is capped on age. For citizens of Nigeria, it's capped at 60 years. 60 years is the retirement age. But for those in medical sector, because most often they don't really retire, so there's a concession for them. Okay, okay, up to 65 years. We give up to 65 years for those in medical and education sector. Yeah, up to 65 years. So once you look at your age and the retirement, we do the plus and minus, and okay, we can do, okay, if you are 40 years and the mortgage you are getting, you can get up to 20 years. Okay, if you are 50, you can get up to 15 years and all that. Yes, so that's how we get on the mortgage ten. And we don't enforce. There are some people that say, okay, I just want this mortgage for 5 years, I just want it to run for 5 years. Yes, so we also have plan for that. Yeah, so that is and also you have to identify a property. The mortgage you are offering is for a property. Mortgage is for a property, so there must be a property that is in place. We run due diligence on the property, charting, valuation. The charting is to ascertain, okay, this property is not encumbered, does not have is not a property that has been set aside by the government and all that. So we do our verification, and once that is fine, you're good. So that is for the mortgage process.
Okay, amazing. Um, are there any other thing that you would like to add?
Okay.
Other areas of mortgage that you would like to add?
Okay, yes. So I would like to speak that, okay, there's this myth that, okay, mortgage is ambiguous and all that. People don't access it. Okay, for us at Imperiums, over 3,000 Nigerians have benefited from mortgage. And compared to the numbers of mortgage banks in Nigeria, so I can tell you for a fact that people are benefiting, Nigerians basically, even in diaspora, they are benefiting from mortgage. from mortgage. Yes, they are owning their property. And why should you get a mortgage? Number one, it saves you. You don't have to get the full fund for the property. Let's say a property is 100 million. You don't have to get the whole funds for the 100 million. Now with a mortgage, you get to save. You get it relieves you of this payment where you can pay for a long time, and you can be in possession. So I tell a lot of people, instead of paying rent, paying 4.5, 5.5, why don't you get a mortgage, and that fund you can convert it to a mortgage and you'll be living in the house. Yes, so that is an advantage. Another thing is it offers convenience of payment. Imagine you paying paying for up to 10 years, spreading your payments, spreading the let's say 70 million of the 100 million over 10 years. So it saves you funds, and the convenience of spreading that payment, and you don't have to wait for the 10 years. That's the interesting thing with us at Imperial Homes. You don't have to wait till 10 years. If okay, you have in front, maybe in 2 years time, 3 years time, you have a you just made a deal and you have a an huge fund. You can pay down on your loan without paying the interest of the years you haven't covered. If you okay, you have a major inflow, okay, you made a deal and all that, you can pay, let's say in 3 years, you can clear down your loan and also get another property on mortgage. Another advantage is that every property, you can't hear it anywhere that a property on mortgage is demolished, or maybe LAPSCA demolished a property. No, you can't hear that, because we do our thorough verification. We request for documents. So I can say it for a fact, you can't hear any property on mortgage that is demolished, because we do our thorough reports, and we share reports with customers here. So this is also, so you don't have any fear of future loss of your property. And also, if you're on mortgage, if you're on mortgage and let's say okay, the person, nobody prays for it, maybe the person, there's a loss of life and all that, insurance comes in and pays in full for the property, and the next of kin get to own the property. So that's another advantage to some people. Yeah, so, and also you get a perfected title. A lot of people buy property, once they pay, they just sleep, like they don't do anything. But if you are buying through a mortgage, it's, you have to do your perfection. We have legal team and everybody that set to do, once your mortgage is financed, the first thing we do is we do your survey and begin your title perfection immediately, so that by the time you are done with your mortgage, we hand over your document to you. And that document that you have rest of mind. You can even use it to get loan and all that. Yes, so there are a lot of advantage from buying a mortgage. Yeah, let me stop there.
Amazing. Okay, so I've had people ask me this particular question. So if I'm buying a property for, let's say for example, above 70 million, so what happens if I'm able to cover an equity contribution and it's just remaining that 70 million to be paid? Is it possible to still have access to the mortgage? So let's say for example I'm buying a property of 150 million and I'm able to cover 80 million naira.
Yeah.
Will you guys be able to still finance the remaining 70 million?
Yes, that is what we do. That is what we do. We finance. We part. Okay, let me use that word. We part finance property price. So if the property is 150, just as you said, you've raised 80 million. So what we do is that we ensure that you pay the funds through our account. We want to see that you have really paid, because some clients partner with developer. The developer will just write a receipt that they've paid and they've not paid. Yes, so we want to see that okay, you pay, you create an account with us, you pay the funds, and once we have done our due diligence on the property is okay, it ticks all boxes, you can send the fund as your equity with the narration equity contribution to the developer, and while we finance the remaining balance for you. Yes. So that is
Okay, so another question. I know that there are people, I mean, I know that you have estates that you finance. I know that you have estates that are listed under the mortgage platform where you guys finance it. So what if I want to buy a property that is outside the properties that you finance? Because
okay.
I also know that if I'm buying a property within the ones that you guys finance, I don't need to pay for due diligence fee because of course you guys are the one funding the project.
Okay.
So if I'm buying a property outside of your financing option, how do I go about it? Or it's not possible. I must buy from the estate that you guys finance.
Okay. Okay, yes. So I want to state something that okay. So if you are buying property, the properties we listed are because we also do construction finance. So if you're a developer, you've been in the field for a long time, we do construction finance. So those properties that you have on our website and all that, they are mostly properties we finance. So it's just a way of encouraging our developer that okay, we financed you, let us also be in your space. So that is well. So if you are getting a mortgage, every customer pays for due diligence because you are entitled to your report. Either the property is on our portfolio, is on our website, or any property, every customer pay for due diligence because you are entitled to your report in your name. So because these are part of your documents, yes, so you pay for due diligence for all properties. So based on, you don't have to buy properties from us, you don't have to buy properties that are on our portfolio. Let me use that word. You don't have to buy property. Any property that has title, registered title, governor's consent, C of O, it has that document, and an approved building plan, we finance it. We do properties. I work in the property inspection and evaluation unit, so I can say for a fact that we finance properties. There's a property in Omole we finance current not too long. It's not one of our portfolio, so we finance. We go to as far as in Lagos, Abuja, even Port Harcourt, if the customer can pay for the whole due diligence process. Why not? So that is what we are called to do. So we finance any property as far as they have the documents. Yes, as far as they have document and the developer understand mortgage process. Because some of those developers, once they hear mortgage, they don't just want to deal. And some of them is because it's either they don't have good title,
Yes,
or
very true.
so I know that you are in the sector, so you can
Yeah,
relate.
yeah, yeah. There are developers that will tell you outright, I don't want this property to be financed by mortgage banks. And I also heard, not really heard, I think I was listening to one of, Lagos real estate, one of, Lagos top real estate person, and he was saying that the best way to actually buy a property right now is through mortgage because the mortgage banks, they are very thorough with their due diligence. So you are sure that, and because they are putting their money up front, they want to make sure that in the next 20 years, 15 years that you are paying for that property, the property is still, legit and all. So I think that mortgage is actually one of the ways to finance your property acquisition, even though you have like an outright payment, but just go through the mortgage system so they can do their thorough checks. And because they are affiliated with the government, it's easy to for them to actually make this search in an in-depth way that your normal search team will not really get to. Okay,
Yeah.
so the answer now is it is very possible for a mortgage bank to finance any real estate project in Nigeria.
Nigeria, in Mowe, in Arepo, in Abuja, name
Oh
it
wow.
anywhere.
Are you
So
serious?
just said now is making me want to say I omitted that and it's very important. Thank you for mentioning that. Okay, so the property you are buying is the collateral. So we can't
Okay.
afford to make any error when it comes to documentation, because the
Yeah.
property, the collateral. So that's why it's key. So we have to do all our checks. We even have customers that, just as you said, we have customer that comes to us because of the thorough checks. They
Mm-hmm.
use, let me not use the word they use us. Okay, so for the checks and all that, and in two
Yeah.
years, even in 1 year, we have customers who come back in 1 year and say, okay, they want to pay down, and we also do checks and see, okay, where are you getting your funds from? Okay, you that just get a mortgage, we know your capacity.
Oh
We
wow.
don't do thorough checks. We don't just receive. We have our risk team and everybody. So we have everybody in place. So we got
Oh
you.
wow.
Yeah.
Amazing. Amazing. So it is very possible to finance any project in Nigeria with mortgage.
Yes. It's very possible. 100%.
Okay. And I hope that Imperial Bank Mortgage or Imperial Mortgage Bank is able to make this process seamless, because I know that part of the reason, like I have clients who, whenever we have this conversation about mortgage, they're like, Joanne, the process is very, very rigorous. So, um, are there ways, not really to make it simpler, but I mean, if you have all your documents, how many days does it take to do your checks? If you
Okay.
have, if you request a document for a client, for example, like how many days can you move ahead? Because some people will say it takes months and all of that. So is it like a very simple process? If I have all the documents that you listed, how long will it take?
Okay. Yeah. So I'm going to speak that it depends on the amount the customer is
Okay.
getting. We also have levels of approval that can, so it depends on the amount. So firstly, our due diligence process does not take long. In 1 week you will get your report for either chatting, valuation, because just as I said, I
Wow.
work in the property inspection team. Once we get a report in a week, we get all our reports. So once the report is out, it's presented at the management level. We assess the if the customer provide all the documents. If cause there's nothing, we want to do business also. So no
Exactly.
reason
Yeah.
why we will sit on a transaction for no reason. Yes. So if there's no
Yeah.
capacity, because based on the capacity too, your monthly repayment must not be more than 30% of your salary. Your monthly repayment must not be more than 30% of your salary. So if it's already,
So you
because
don't
we,
struggle to pay off.
yes, so we don't want people to struggle. You should be able to pay your mortgage and do other things, pay school fees and do other things. Yes. So
Yeah.
if the in checks and all that, there is no, and if, and again, it depends on the mortgage product you are going for. If you are going for NHF, it's not our, NHF, now the way
It's like a
Nigerian thing.
cooperative.
Yes, so it's getting better. Before it used to take up to 6 months for NHF,
Mm.
yeah. So but now we are in 3 months, we are getting that. Even accessing 25% of the RSA. People access 25% of their RSA to, as an equity contribution. Okay, let's say the property price is 100 million, you need 30 million. If you have been
Yeah.
working, you want to take 25%. So you can also take, so that one is, even before it used to take like 3 months, 6 months, but now even in 1 month you can access that. Yes, so let's say, give or take, if your amount is 70 million downwards, in 4 weeks you should get your disbursement if all documents are in place. Emphasis on that. Yes,
Wow.
so
So if all document checks out and you provide every other essential document that you need,
yeah,
you're saying that in 1 month, the mortgage can go ahead with the financing and you
yeah,
can go ahead.
yes. If
Wow.
it's mortgage, in 4 weeks I can guarantee that, if it's our residential mortgage, yes.
Yeah.
But if chef, we cannot guarantee it, because the fund is coming from Um,
Yes, I understand. Yes.
and also if it's FHF too, FHF, let's say in 6 weeks, FHF is disbursed. Yeah. So, and
Okay,
Emirates will.
amazing. Okay, so one last question before I let you go.
Yeah.
What if I start paying my mortgage? Everything checks out, you've checked my finances, and everything checks out. Down the line, 3 years or 5 years' time, I probably lose my job. God forbid, but I'm just saying, maybe for somebody who is asking, who is going to watch this video later, I lose my job 5 years later or 3 years later. What happens to the house? Are you guys going to take it away from me or wait for me to probably get another job? Because I mean, life is, there are
Live.
uncertainties in life. Yeah, life is unpredictable. So what happens if right now I have a very good job, I'm doing well, and few years down the line I've not finished paying for my mortgage and I lose my source of livelihood? What happens?
Okay, yeah. So that's why we have a plan for, we have an insurance. Insurance is,
Oh,
yeah. So that's why when I was also talking, I speak to if there's a loss of life, the mortgage ends, the next of kin gets the property, just like that. So that is one. Also, if there is an accident or something, maybe the person can no longer walk as he used to, insurance covers that. And also, once there's a loss of life, so the first thing is that if there should be a communication. Once there's
okay.
the customer is should communicate to us, because we cannot assume that okay, this customer, if we see that
Yeah.
thing, you should communicate. Okay, I just lost my job. Okay, this and this just happened to me. If there's a communication, we know the people to reach out to that can, okay, take it up for them. Okay, for a loss of job, okay, I think insurance paid for a period of time while you get another job. Yeah. So we believe that for you, you are still very active. If insurance pays for a period of time, you should be able to get another job. Yes. So I think that.
Okay. So you talked about insurance. Sorry, you talked about insurance. Are you there? Hi, Kemi.
I'm sorry about that. Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah, I can hear you. Okay, so one last question. Sorry. You talked about insurance. So is it
Yeah.
that the client will have to be financing
Oh
the
my
insurance
goodness. Who
ahead of
called me?
time? Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Okay.
So you talked about insurance. So is it that once I
But
get the
I can't
mortgage
hear
offer?
you. I can't
Oh,
hear you.
really? Can you hear me now? Can you
Oh
hear
my
me?
goodness.
I can actually hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, very well now. Sorry about that.
Okay. All right. Okay, so one last question. You talked about insurance. So if anything happens at the long run, insurance will tend to cover it, right?
That is.
Can you hear me? Hello? Kemi, can you hear me?
Hello, can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me? Okay. Hello, John.